The one-hand swing snatch is alternatively known as just a one-hand snatch commonly. We call it a swing snatch to differentiate it from the dead snatch, which is where the bell is taken from a dead position on the floor or in hang. It's a very dynamic exercise, semi-continuous. You can have a little pause when the bell is stationary and positioned over the shoulder in that end point just there. And it involves three different phases. There's a lift phase to generate the force with a strong hip extension, an upward pull phase to redirect it, and then a punch phase to take it into the catch position. It's going to work the hip extensors, the glutes, hamstrings, the back, and then the upward pulling muscles, the upper back, the shoulders, and the arms. Bell is kept closer to the body than with a single arm swing, and all the force to get above the head comes from this strong hip extension. The pull phase just redirects it upwards in preparation for the catch phase at the end. As you can see, it doesn't deviate massively from the midline, just moves from the midline in between the legs to a position above the shoulder with the arms straight. There's a couple of different ways of actually doing the final part, the punch phase, and I'll show you those now. Depends who you get taught by, and also what you kind of naturally pick up as you practice the exercise. First one is where the handle is punched underneath the bell. So you do the same hip extension, the hips drive forward, the muscles of the upper body pull it upwards to redirect it, and in this case now the handle's punched underneath. It does expend a little bit more energy, so it's a little harder to do than the alternative, which we'll show you in a second. And you have to get the timing just right so the bell, the round part of the kettlebell, doesn't bang on the forearm. If you are practicing it, using a sweatband can help decrease that impact, but it does take a little bit of practice to make that nice and smooth. Now the alternative is, rather than bringing the handle and punching the handle underneath the bell, is to punch around the bell, so the handle moves around the kettlebell, and the bell, the round part, will actually roll onto the forearm. This technique is used by more elite lifters because it actually saves energy. It's easier to perform than the alternative method where you're punching underneath. So you can see here the hips extend forward, bell's pulled upwards, and as the bell comes up, the handle is punched around rather than underneath. To unload, the elbow drops, the thumb twists outwards, and the bell rolls off the forearm. There's the unload, and you move then into the next repetition. At speed, you can see you need to be very aggressive with the hips, big hip extension forward, pull upwards to get ready for the punch. For more information on kettlebell equipment and training, just go to the website or give us a phone call.